if you open this response, and there is something called tool underscore call, right? This tool underscore call information will tell you which tool you need to call here, and here I'm highlighting tool underscore calls. This contains the name of the tool, that is nothing but the function here, and some of the details. This is the actual usage of our agent. If there is a response coming from LLM and it requires a tool calling, then it will call a tool. Otherwise, it will directly print the response which is coming from the LLM. So it is hitting the Ollama here and it gave the response. It says that this is the human question. So tool call is, first I need to call the convert underscore currency, and amount I am passing 100 from currency to USD to euros, and the tool gave a result, right, 87.77. So this is directly coming from that particular API. Then it gave the AI result also. Hey everyone, in the previous session we have learned about LangChain, how to create tools and how to call those tools using LangChain. If you have not watched the previous session, you can go and check it, and entire the playlist is given in the description. In this session we are going to learn about how to create a AI agent. We are going to create a new tools, and we are going to create a AI agent using LangChain, and we are going to make use of those tools. This particular session will involve coding and we'll build our own AI agent. So let's get into the session. In this session we are going to understand what is prompt template and how to use in the AI agent. This is very important concept before building the AI agent. Then we'll get into a coding part, create AI agent using this particular method, create React agent, and we are going to execute the AI agent with the custom tools. We are going to create a new tools, and we are going to try with the different questions, and then we will see how AI agent will behave on different customized questions and customized tools. So let's get into it. Here first thing is a prompt template. Prompt template is a reusable blueprint for building prompt. It contains instructions, placeholders for dynamic content, and consistent structure for messages. Why it is required is there is a consistency, keeps instructions and behavior consistent in every interaction with LLM, and you can reuse it a number of times. And maintainability, whenever there is a change required in the prompt, you can directly go and change in the prompt template. Better results, if we write a better prompt, then LLM will give a better results, and reducing errors, of course. How it works is, whenever there is a user sends an input, it will go to a prompt template first, then the final prompt will be created. This prompt template will include the system prompt plus any of the placeholder if you have it, and then it will generate a final prompt. Then it will go to AI model, then the response will come to user. How the prompt template usually look is, there is a system prompt. You can create it as a system prompt, and here you can mention what is the role that we are expecting and some of the rules, how LLM should respond, what it should consider. If you have any constraints, conditions that you can mention, then you can interact with the LLM. So this is about the prompt template. Let's go ahead. Here first thing is, I'll go and create a new file here. File name will be AI agent, and in that I'm going to write all my code. The first thing is I'm going to import some of the libraries here, import request, and then I'm going to import some of the LangChain libraries, LangChain core tools, and here I'm going to import a tool here. This is what I required to create a tool here, and then I'm going to import a LangChain core prompt, because I need to write a prompt here. For that I require this particular library, and from that I'm going to import our prompt template, and then I'm going to import Ollama library here, because I need to create a LLM and I need to interact with Ollama, which is running in local. And in the last I'm going to create LangChain.agents. This is very important to create the agent here. Here the first thing is I need to create a different tools. So here I'm planning to create some 4 different tools, as we have seen already the tool creation part in the previous session. So I am fast forwarding the tool creation here. If you have not watched the previous session on creating the tools, you can go and check it. The link is given in the description here. The first tool here is a get fact. Then the second tool here will be creating some of the jokes here, get some random jokes. I'm going to add a API for all these tools given here. Third tool is converting the currency. If I'm sending some amount and I'm mentioning what is the source currency and what is the destination currency, I should be able to convert the currency, and there is a free API available. I'm going to add that API code here, and then I'm going to create a tool for addition and multiplication. So this is a tool for addition. Similarly, I'm going to create a tool for multiplication. So here all my tools function names are created. Now I'm going to add a code for all these things. So I have added all the code here. This is the API to get the some random fact. This is a free API, we can go and use it. Another API is getting some random jokes here. This is also a free API which I can use it in my agent. And third thing is converting a currency. If I am sending amount and the source currency and to currency, it will call this particular API and it will take all these as a parameters, amount, from and to, then it will give me a JSON format. That is another tool, addition and multiplication. So these all tools are ready and I can directly go ahead with the agent creation. The next thing is I need to assign all these tools. There is the list I'm going to create and I'm assigning all the tool names here in this list. Here next thing is a prompt template. I need to create a system prompt and the prompt template also. For that I will create one of the variable, that is system prompt. This is a prompt which I've already copied in one of the notepad here. I have created a system prompt. System prompt says that you are helpful assistant for AI agents, and I have added some rules also. Always use the available tools. Whatever the tools which I have added, those tool names I have mentioned here, and never guess or compute these yourself. This is very important. And when a question requires a multiple step, break it down and use tools one at a time. If I'm asking a question which requires multiple tool calls, right, then this is the instruction for that. And keep answers concise and mention which tools you have used. This is very important because as a user I need to know which tools are being called. If there is a issue in the tool calling, then I'm asking that mention that clearly, throw that error, what error you are facing. So I'll copy the entire system prompt here and add it as a system prompt. So my system prompt is ready. Now I need to go and create the template here. So here I'll write a comment that I'm going to create one of the variable as a prompt template, and then inside that prompt template I'm going to pass the system prompt which I have created above. Prompt template equals to, and here I'm going to use a chat prompt template, and this is coming from again LangChain, and from that I'm going to call from messages, and inside this I'm going to mention system prompt what I have got it. So here my template is ready, and next thing is I need to create a LLM object here, and as we are using a Ollama which is running locally here, I need to mention the model name here. First let me go and create the LLM object. LLM equals to, and here I'm going to use a chat Ollama which I have imported above, and inside this I'm going to mention the model name. And before mentioning the model name, make sure that you are running Ollama list here, and it will show you which model you have it in your local. Mention that model name inside this bracket here. So here you need to mention like model and equals to the model name, and here you can set the temperature. If you are setting a temperature equals to 0, then you are asking LLM to have no creativity. If you are increasing this value to higher value, then it shows that you want LLM to add its own some creativity. So this is very important. Then I'm going to create an agent here, and while creating agent I'm going to use agent equals to create underscore agent method. Here I need to mention LLM tool and the system prompt. So here my agent object is also ready. Now I need to create one function here to run this particular agent. So here my function name will be run agent, and this particular run agent will take user question as a parameter here. Here I've added a print statement to print the user question. After that I need to invoke LLM here by using a agent object which I've created, agent dot invoke, and inside that I'm going to pass the input. So what will be my input is, so here I'm mentioning role as a user, and here content will be my question. Here I need to add some configuration also. If user is asking some question, so it can go and iteration for some number of time. That number I need to specify here. Here I can put it as a 10 or a 5. If it is not getting a right answers, it will try for 10 numbers or a 5 numbers, whatever the configuration which you are giving here. That configuration we call it as a recursion limit, so that after 10 times it will come out of it. I'm adding a print statement here. This is not the final one. Here I want to show you how the response looks like in debug mode. That's how I added a print statement here. We'll add a debug pointer here at this print print statement, and then we will see how the response looks like. Then we will enhance our code. For testing purpose, I'm adding a response, and from the response I want to see the messages here. Then after that I'm going to write a main function. Here I'm adding a main function call here. Inside the main function I'm calling run agent, and I'm passing some question. So here I'm asking question like, can you tell me a random fact? So here my main function is ready and the question is ready. Let me run in debug mode to show you how the response looks like. It is now interacting with the Ollama and getting the response. Now it has given me a response, and I've added debug pointer here. If you expand the response, it contains messages, and then it returns 4 different objects, and each object will tell you a different message. The first message says that human message, that is the question which I've asked. Second thing is a AI message. If you take a look, the AI message, it is telling you all the information about the AI tool. Third thing is a tool message. What is the exact answer which you have got? That is coming from the tool that is mentioned here. And if you expand the third object, it says that this is the exact answer, and it says that there is a content field, and this is the actual answer which is coming from directly a tool, not from the AI. And the last one is a AI message, and this is where it is giving some of the extra information which is coming from AI, and it says that here is a random joke along with some of the facts. So more about this particular response which is coming here. If you open this response, and there is something called tool underscore call, right? This tool underscore call information will tell you which tool you need to call here, and here I am highlighting tool underscore calls. This contains the name of the tool, that is nothing but the function here, and some of the details. If you scroll here, the name is coming from the tool which we have created above. So this is the tool which we have created, and LLM is saying that for the question you need to call this specific tool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fetch that particular attribute here, that is tool underscore call attribute, and here if there is a tool call underscore exist, then I will mention that tool calls and what is the name of that particular tool. And if there is no tool, if some other message, because there are multiple AI message, human message, and all the interaction which is happening, right, that also I want to print it here. What is the message type, whether it is coming from human, whether it is coming from AI, whether it is coming from tool, like that all the details we can fetch it from the response and print it here. And from this response I can print the message type, whether it is coming from AI, whether it is coming from human, whether it is coming from tool, and then I can print the content also, from where this particular message is coming and what is the actual message. This is what I want to print. Message.content will tell me that content details also. Let me run this particular code, and here I've added some question that can you tell me some random fact. User query is printed here, then it is hitting the Ollama, and then it is saying that this is the question which user has asked, and tool details is coming from this get underscore fact which we have created. It says that Ollama replied that I need to call get fact, and then it called the tool, and this is response coming from tool, and then finally it says that this is the AI message. This is coming from Ollama. The final message is coming from Ollama, and wherever tool is mentioned, that is coming from directly API. This is the actual usage of an agent. If there is a response coming from LLM and it requires a tool calling, then it will call a tool. Otherwise, it will directly print the response which is coming from the LLM. Now let me add another question here, which is converting currency here, converting 100 USD to euros, and then add 50 to the result. This is going to call another tool here, that is convert currency, that takes the amount from currency and to currency, and then it is going to call another tool, that is add. So here we are calling multiple tools. LLM should call automatically. So it is hitting the Ollama here, and it gave the response. It says that this is the human question. So tool call is, first I need to call the convert underscore currency, and amount I am passing 100 from currency to USD to euros, and the tool gave a result, right, 87.77. So this is directly coming from that particular API. Then it gave the AI result also, and here it is saying that there is some error when it is adding 50 to the entire result. So this is what we have mentioned in the prompt also. If there is an error, it directly throws. So there could be some issue when it is converting from a string to float, because we have added as a float parameter and it is expecting maybe in a string. Let me add another question here. Tell me some random joke, which calls another tool which we have. We have a tool for specifically telling the joke. I'm going to execute this code here. It gave the result. This is the human question which I have asked, and it returned me a tool call. It mentioned that which tool it has called, that is get underscore joke is a tool name which is mentioned here, and tool gave the joke also. There are some jokes based on the programming. These are the 5 stages of the debugging. That's what the joke is. And finally AI also adds some more details here. It says that this is the tool name which we have called. So this is about how to create an agent, how to interact with the agent by using a LangChain, and how to create a template. Everything we have seen it. I will commit this particular code into GitHub repository. You can clone it and try it and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.